Hey guys, it's George here from menknitting.net, and I've been away for a little while, so I thought it was time that I did a catch up and let you know what I have been up to. So I'm going to do a couple of shorter podcasts, and I'm going to stick to a topic. I know, unusual for me, but first up, I have been traveling and it has been really great. I was just in America. Had the most amazing time. Got to visit Portland, got to visit San Francisco for the Folsom Street Fair, which was really amazing. And it was great. Portland is such a fun city. It's got a really great vibe, lots of good things, and the most amazing bookstore. I have to say, it was incredible. Powell's Books. This place is huge. It's in downtown Portland. Here's a picture of the front of it, and it is incredible. I think there were like five floors, and there were mezzanines in between, and it's freaking huge. And it's secondhand books, and the knitting section was amazing. Check this out. It was a whole aisle just devoted to knitting, and that to me is like, oh my god, the best thing ever. I was able to get some fantastic books, and I just wanted to show you through some of them. Now, I have the bad habit of, I will pick up a book that I like and I'll go, oh, I don't know, oh, maybe I should get it. And then I go, and then I can never find that book again. So when I was at Powell's, it was such a great opportunity to be able to find books that I'd seen, wanted, and then I was like, yep, grabbing it, keeping it, it's mine. I got a bunch of books that I really found interesting, and these were quite unusual ones. So for example, the first one is this one, Dominatrix. That's a really cool book, actually, based on the premise of a dominatrix who's teaching knitting. Look, I don't know. I know plenty of dominatrixes, and I'm sure that they are crafty and that they knit as well. So there you go. And, you know, there's a few little like, oh, you will do this and you will do that. But it's like, yeah, sure. Okay, doll. But what I really liked was the patterns. Like, check these charts out. There are some really fun, amazing charts in there, and some really unusual, like, check this little devil's hat out. That's really cool. What I'm liking about this book is that it's got really unusual projects in it. It's basically, the first half of the book is just basic education and stuff, but then there's kinky stuff that's knitted in the back. Look at these very naughty cushions that say, spank me, bite me. Ooh, so naughty and dominatrixy. But look at that, that's a really beautiful handbag. That's kind of cool. But there were patterns in here that I liked, so I thought, you know what, that's a good enough reason for me to grab that. And at Powell's, that was a whole $10.50, which was an absolute bargain. In the same sort of theme was this book, Punk Knits, and I really love this book. It's got some great stuff in there, and one of the things that I loved, you know what, I should prepare way better, right? And put little tabs on the ones that I want. I got it for this chart, because I love the chart, but this is part of a kilt, which I adore. A knitted kilt. Oh my God, I'm totally going to knit myself a kilt. So there you go, I love kilts. At Folsom Street Fair, I was in my leather kilt. Thank you, the fine people at Utility Kilts. And super happy. It may seem like there's a weird theme going on here, but there was also this book, Protest Knits. And what I liked about it, it's got a couple of patterns in there that I really quite like. for some gloves and some scarves and some just, you know, unusual things like these charts for like nasty woman. And they've got, of course, they've got pussy hats in there as well, which I like. It's a very simple pattern too, actually, but you could do it in the round, and you can actually see, if you look at the picture there, you can see there's a jog, so it was obviously done in the round. But that's pretty cool. It had some cool patterns, and it was inexpensive. It was $8, so it's like, yep, grab that. I originally saw this book for sale in Manchester, and I didn't grab it, and I regretted it. And when I saw it at Powell's Books, I was super, super happy. Now, Powell's Book is interesting because they have some very, very unusual books. Say, for example, this. This is a manual called Flying High with the 930-940, which I'm assuming is some sort of knitting machine. I have no freaking idea, because it just talks about, you know, settings on the machine and stuff like that. But it had this chart in it. Check this out. It's like a playing card, right? With Queen and King on the other side. And that's the only reason I bought this book, for $5.95 for that chart. That's cheaper than a Ravelry pattern. And this has more charts in there as well. I have no idea what this knitting machine thing is, but the charts are great. So if you are in Portland, I really, really recommend it. Other books that I got there, Geek Knits, that's kind of cool. Got some, look at little Bunnicula, where is he? Look at the little bunny. He's Dracula Bunny, which I thought was pretty cool. And some Cthulhu stuff, and oh, look this, the little worm from Labyrinth. How cool is that? So that was a fun book that I had to grab. And then finally, one of the people that I've learned off is Bruce Weinstein. I'll put a link to his Craftsy class, which is on combined continental knitting, and he changed the way that I think about, because I was really struggling with continental purling, and watching his videos taught me the combined continental purl, which was really, really great. And to be honest, I don't actually do it anymore. I do the regular continental purl with the finger flip, because it feels nicer. And whilst the combined purl is faster, I actually find continental knitting through the back, which you have to do on the next row, a pain in the ass, and it's not as fast. So it's interesting how persistence has gotten me to be able to do the continental purl, and I attribute that to Bruce Weinstein. So thank you, Bruce, if you ever watch this video. But he's got a couple of books out, because guy knitting is really freaking hard to get. So I bought his 2 books. It's like, this is the joy of Powell's, right? They just had both of his books there. So he's got Men's Knits, the 10 rules every woman or guy should know before knitting for a man. Well, I'm a man and I need the fucking patterns, so bought the book. And the other one is Boyfriend Sweaters. Like, we all know the story, you know, by the time that you have a partner that's knit worthy, by the time you finish the jumper, it could be over. So it's really fucking important. Learn to knit fast, so that way you can get these garments out. I'm really, really grateful that I've got a bunch of knit-worthy guys around me, so I'm so happy. And it was their reason that I got into knitting. So there you go, Griff, thank you very much. So there's some patterns in there as well. And the final book that I acquired is this, which I really, really love, Artful Colour. Now, colour is super important to me, because, you know, I've got ink, just in case you haven't noticed. So colour, I really, really love colour, and I'm getting into it with knitting, which is probably why I like the Stephen West stuff. But what another thing I found in Portland was nature. I went for this really great walk. There's a fall that's just outside of Portland. And there were so many lush greens and browns, and I was just going around with my iPhone and taking photos of all of these wonderful natural color combinations. And now I'm always like, I look at two colors and I might go, oh, I don't know if those two colors will go together. And then I'll think, would I see it in nature? And if the answer is yes, I would see it in nature, then I will totally do that. So yeah, that's been a really wonderful thing. And check out these photos. This was in a wonderful friend of mine's, Miss Hunt and Tyke's backyard. And I took photos of their garden. And this is some of the color combinations that I found and I just love. And of course, a bit of a plug, this is Tyke in the Steve West sports shorts that I made for him as well. So yay, I was so happy, and he was so happy when I gifted him those shorts as well. And I actually did a cowl for Miss Hunt as well, and I hope she doesn't mind if I pop a little photo of her in the cowl as well. But these were all based on natural colors, and I'm thinking I'm inspired now to do more stuff that's based on these natural colors. And with this book, it's thinking about natural colors, but to think about pooling. So they're looking at like a skein of yarn that's got your patches that are really designed for pooling, how to work out the magic number, and then from there to start creating garments that exploit that natural number, where you can get the colors coming together in a really interesting patterns. And I love when things pool. And let me show you one moment, please. Say for example, this is a pair of the Steve West sports shorts, and if you look here, see how the colors are coming into these wonderful stripes and combinations. Now I will tell you now, they didn't have enough of this bottom color, so I bought a purple, which was going to be for the shaping part. When it's flat, it looks cool. From the front, it looks cool, but when you wear them, it looks like your pants are falling down. So for anybody who's doing the Steve West sports shorts, it's a great pattern. It looks fantastic, but think twice before you do the shaping panel in a different color, because it looks a bit like saggy butt. And I was a bit disappointed because it looked great while I was knitting it, but once I put it on, I was like, it looks like it's falling off my ass. Which is, you know, in prison, it could mean that I get a root out of it, so who knows. But anyway, there you go. Powell's books. The knitting section is fantastic. If you're into other crafts, there was a whole crochet section, cooking, gaming. My partner went ballistic in the gaming section. Anime, you name it, there is a section there. And there's the Powell's book that's in town, and apparently there's satellite ones as well based around Portland. And the second knitting section is supposed to be amazing. So if you're looking for the rare and the unusual in knitting, you absolutely cannot go wrong. They are there. I was able to pick up every book that I'd thought about in the past. I thought, geez, I wouldn't mind getting that. They had it there. So if you're in Portland, I can't recommend Powell's enough. I hope this was a useful thing, and tell me, what books are you enjoying at the moment? Tell me your favorite knitting books. I would love to find out what you guys are reading, because it inspires me to keep on reading and keep on learning. And that's what's been great about being part of the knitting community, and particularly the men's knitting community, because there isn't many of us, and so it is important that we all share together. Anyway, there you go. That's my thoughts. Have a really great week and a great weekend. See you guys.